For years of solitude, I stand in the sidelines and watch relationships of others come and go. I've seen several made up teenage couples going well for 2 to 3 years before disappearing into oblivion after high school graduation. I've seen others currently still proceeding strong despite having college physically separate them by great distance, one in the very east of North America, the other moving to the very west of North America. In recent years, I watched as one of my younger friends I've known growing up finally running into somebody special of his own, to which I responded with 50% of congratulating joy and 50% of envy. 2 months later, that envy dissipated just as fast as my friend's newly established yet unfortunately short-lived relationship. It wasn't anybody's fault. They were only 16. Me, being 20 at the time, however, never considered it trouble to take a few extra notes. Suddenly, waiting for a few more years no longer sounds as agonizing as it used to be. People walk into relationships expecting to see gardens, then stumble out of them like wounded soldiers back from devastating wars. For me, relationships are like gardens. Bad relationships, on the other hand, are like war zones blazing, burning through all the pleasant fantasies and illusions you once had, leaving you spiritually battered, filled with bitterness and doubt. War zone or garden, I sense an unpredictable emotional whirlwind. I see different ideologies, realism and romanticism, sometimes even heroism, clashing against one another, fighting for control. When the scale tips too much toward one or another, we either let cynicism eat us away from the inside, or allow ourselves to be overpowered by delusions and false hope. Excessive realism leads us into a dull and tasteless relationship, while excessive romanticism and heroism give results to a life disconnecting us from reality. It is only when we learn to balance the scale, becoming champions and guardians of our principles and ideals, will we finally be able to distinguish gardens from war zones and war zones from gardens. When you pick the garden, you do some nice gardening and live a peaceful life. When you pick the other one, you take it like a champ, get back on your feet, dust your shoulders, and keep moving forward. Being the simple man as I am, physical attraction will always play an important part in my standards of choosing. Still, it's not everything, as there are plenty other bigger forces at play here. The standards of self-independence, emotional intelligence and wisdom, of imaginativeness and creativity, of sympathy and compassion, the sense of belonging and infinite inspiration. Perhaps that would be a bit too much to ask for, but a man can wait. A man can wait as many years as he can. A man has all the time in the world. A man needs only one. Every once in a while, I think of relationships as a song of ice and fire. I would ask myself, if I ever get into one, would I want to be the fire or would I want to be the ice? Do I want to be the one that melts the frost off another? Or do I want to be the one encased in my own frost, waiting to be melted? As time goes on, I grow to understand that you don't have to be in a relationship to play the song of ice and fire. That once you learn to harness both elements by yourself, you become the embodiment of the song itself. You will be fire when time needs you to be, and you will be ice when time needs you to be. Then, when the time comes and somebody comes along to play the song with you, you will be prepared. Prepared for the ability to give, and at times when necessary, the ability to open yourself up, to receive. I think of her when I look at the ocean. I dream of her when I dream of the sunrise. I don't know her name, her face, where she comes from. I don't know when and where she's going to show up. All I know is the coffee shop I'm taking her to if she ever does, and the malls we're hanging around if she ever does, The streets we're walking, the times we're sharing, the cold December night we're celebrating together when winter comes, if she ever does. A man is still waiting.